Mic is muted. There we go. You should be able to hear me now. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Only Facts Sports. You already know what it is. Nick J. Francis here in the building. Everton versus Arsenal. And let's be real. Let's be really, really real, yeah? Tuesday's the big game, innit? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at Real Madrid. I'm going to be at AFTV in Box Park in Shoreditch. So if anybody wants to come down, say hello, say, well, go on and come watch the game with us. But it's listen, it's this game. You can see by the starting 11, and we'll get into the starting 11 in a second. We're 15 minutes away from kickoff. Like the video as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. The fixture, the league looks like it's done, right? But there are still things that we need to get out of this game, and the starting 11 for me tells me everything that I need to know in terms of where the team's head is at and where our mind is at. First of all, as well, by the way, I made the most banging. I don't know if you man can see this. Yeah, I made the most banging steak sandwich. Hold on, let me show you, man, this steak sandwich, bro. I don't know if my viewers are vegan or not yet. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Where's the camera? Look at that. That is a serious steak sandwich, bro. Just wanted to share that with you, man. Yeah, because I'm gonna be chomping throughout this video. You already know, man's always snacking. You know what it is already. Yeah, but listen, the starting 11 for Arsenal is David Raya in goal, Lewis Skelly, Kivior, Saliba, Ben White. Now, could this be the back four that we see? I did a tactical insight breakdown with James B on AFTV. They've got their predicted 11 video as well, breaking down, what they think the 11 is going to be. We spoke about it. For me personally, it looks like we're probably going to see Kivior in that left centre back spot. Ben White is coming back from injury. When we play Real Madrid, for me personally, I would like to see Ben White in the centre back position, in the left sided centre back position. I think he's a more natural centre back, and I think he's, when it comes to dealing with tricky wingers like Vinicius or Marcus Rashford or any of those types of really difficult wingers, Ben White that isn't the best. But meanwhile, Timber is an amazing one-on-one defender. Now, if Timber is fit, I would like to see Lewis Skelly at left back, Jurriën Timber at right back, and Saliba and Ben White as the centre backs. But we've got a lot of injuries. Obviously, Tomiyasu looks like he's probably out on his way out of the club because he can't stay fit. He's injured. Gabriel picked up an injury. Calafiori is currently injured, and Timber as well, not necessarily 100% fit, so we have to see. But that's the back four that we're going with today. And all eyes are going to be on Jakub Kivior and how he's going to deal with being the starting left-sided centre-back for this game. That being said, when you look at this team in Everton, it is not really going to give you much preparation for what Real Madrid is going to bring to the table. But listen, that's what we're going with anyway. The midfield, torn on the midfield as well. Interesting to see how Marino's in that midfield. Jorginho starts instead of Partey. Looks like we're probably protecting Partey for Real Madrid. This has been Partey's best season for Arsenal. Let's be real. He's been injured for the majority of the time that he's been here. Every season he has some type of injury. I think he's been injured like 50% of the time before this season. This has been his best, most consistent season. Still not perfect. Still not really hit the heights. Kind of a 6 out of 10, maybe even a 5 out of 10 signing overall. But he's been good this season. He will be absolutely pivotal. He's got La Liga experience. He's played for Atletico Madrid for a long time. He knows Real Madrid. He knows the style. He will be really, really important to us. Jorginho comes in today in a game where you expect us to be able to dominate the ball. With Marino back in that midfield, it's going to be really interesting to see what he does. And what I'm really interested to see with Mikel Marino is Mikel Marino has actually had a decent goal scoring run for Arsenal since he's been playing in that new striker-ish position. And I'm really curious to see if he adds more goals to his game going back to midfield. One of the things we saw in the last game against Fulham, what I was really happy with, is he was just taking shots early. He was just getting the shot off early, not really overthinking it, not trying to overplay it, and just getting the shot off as early as possible. I'd like to see him doing that in midfield as well. Rice has begun adding goals to his game, and we know really the midfield. I know our front three, we have injuries in our attacking area, but as a team, we need more goals coming from our midfield. Martinelli has been in a down period, but our strikers tend to get goals, whether it's Jesus or Havertz. They do have a good return on on goals. Saka is the main guy for GA. Ødegaard is the one that's really dropped off a cliff. Martinelli's really dropped off a cliff. Rice is picking that up a little bit, but I think midfield goals is what we really need to see to take Arsenal to the next level, as well as more of a balance on the left wing as well. So it'd be interesting to see him dropping back into midfield today and see what that means for the Real Madrid game. Again, is that, what that means in terms of the number 9 options, because at number 9, we've got Trossard today. Trossard starts at the number 9 position. Not a favourite for me personally, but I get it, needs must. We've got Sterling on the left, which I'm actually very happy about. Sterling on the left, Wanyeri on the right. I thought Sterling in the Champions League playing on the left has been some of the best that he's looked since he's been at Arsenal. For me, he hasn't looked great. On the right, he really, really hasn't looked great. But on the left, I think he's looked much better, cutting in, shooting, and trying to just cut in and shoot and focus on that. That for me is really where he's looked a little bit better, not massively better, but a little bit better. I think it suits his game more, especially at this stage of his career. Where he doesn't have the lightning pace he used to have a few years ago. But yeah, that's the team: David Raya, Lewis Skelly, Kivior, Saliba, Ben White, midfield: Jorginho, Rice, Marino, and up front Sterling on the left, Wanyeri on the right, and Leandro Trossard as well. And again, this is also an audition for that whole front three, because we're probably going to see Marino, Martinelli, Saka. That's what we're expecting to see. How much of an impact these three can have off the bench, this is that audition game to say, actually, we're ready. Because if you can't come and perform, Wanyeri less so, he'll probably feature against Real Madrid, although it's a big, big step up from his experience from the youth academy all the way up to Champions League quarterfinals. But that's what it is. You're in the first team. That's what you're there to do. Trossard has been hot and cold this season. Sterling's been mostly cold this season. And they have to show today that they really are going to be involved in this game against Real Madrid, because this could be not just a season-defining game. It could be an era-defining game for us as Arsenal Football Club. And we don't. Sterling won't be here next year. So how much motivation is there from his side? And Leandro Trossard, his future is sort of up in the air at the moment. So for Everton, Jordan Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Patterson, back four, decent back four that we can get at them 100%. If we had Martinelli, Saka, and like Jesus, I'd feel more confident, but we don't. That's what it is. Idrissa Gueye, Oreg Bunam as the kind of DMs, Jack Harrison and Dai, Beto up top, and Doucouré in kind of the 10 position. I guess they kind of play more with 3-8. And for me, Ndiaye, man, Ilman Ndiaye has been a player this season. He's been serious this season. I don't know what his actual goal was. 6 goals this season for 25 matches. It's not crazy, the 6 goals, but he's a serious player. Beto has stepped up this season as well. I think he looked like a bit of a dud signing when they first got Beto. He looks far better now than he did in previously. And really adjusted to working with David Moyes and stuff like that. So for me, these, it's a test. It'll be a little bit of a test. Everton at home, I think a season before last, we were close to winning the league, and I think it was Everton that undone us late on in one game, and so it'll be a reasonable test. But you would expect that we have enough to sort of get through them. They've got Michael Keane, Dwight McNeil, Ashley Young, Armando Broja, all on the bench. Arsenal on the bench. Kieran Tierney, again, really interesting. Does he play a part against Real Madrid? If it comes down to just getting down the line and whipping crosses into the box, could it be Kieran Tierney? His pace against a makeshift right back who's playing right back? Lucas Vasquez. That could be an interesting battle. Thomas Partey on the bench, again, just preserving him. That injury record is still there in the back of the manager's mind. Saka coming back from injury. Martin Odegaard, Martinelli, Jurriën Timber, all of these players you'd expect to be starting against Real Madrid. And then it gets really interesting. Alexander Zinchenko didn't play against Fulham, but played in the last, was it the last Champions League game or last league game before the break? And he scored an absolutely cracking goal. And, again, another player that looks like he could be on his way out of the club. So where is his level of drive? Where is his level of enthusiasm? And how much from a tactical perspective can he play? Probably won't start in a fullback position, but could he have a say at some point in the midfield? He can score. He is technical. If we're up against the Real Madrid mid-block, maybe he's somebody that can come in and help shuffle around the mid-block. Lots and lots of question marks. But seeing that bench, for me, looks really strong. It's a strong. Obviously, there's kind of several starting 11 players on that bench, but for me, I think that's really important to have that context of we're really looking at the Champions League game, to be fair, and that's what this is all going to be about, in my opinion. Drop a comment. Let me know what your predictions are for the game. I think that this should be a 2-0. I think this should be a 2-0. Lewis Skelly, again, I mean, he's still auditioning. He seems to have nailed down at left back position. He's probably going to be playing left back against Real Madrid on Tuesday. What kind of performance can you put in today? He's popped up with a couple of goals this season. He's also got a couple of red cards this season. So can we go, how confident can we be in Lewis Skelly as that left back, dealing with Rodrigo, who is, the weakest of the Real Madrid front three, but no slouch by any means of the imagination, really, really solid winger. So Miles Lewis Skelly up against him is going to be an interesting battle. There's going to be some interesting battles. Again, I did the game with I did the tactical insight video with James B. I'm not even sure if it's out yet on the AFTV channel. Let me go and have a look and see if it is out. AFTV. No, it's still not out yet. Okay, fine. I'm waiting for that to drop. It's probably going to drop tomorrow. I imagine it will probably drop tomorrow, or yeah, that it will probably drop tomorrow. But yeah, if you get a chance tomorrow on AFTV, there'll be a tactical insight. James B and I breaking down the actual tactical side, and there are some really interesting battles. When you break the game down to one-on-one battles, it's a winnable game. But before that, we've got to win this game. And you know, the realism is, how much are we looking at the Premier League? Not really. I mean, Liverpool unbeaten in the last 5. They are 12 points ahead with 8 games to go. They're not dropping 12 points in the next 8 games, realistically, right? So we still have to keep our professionalism. We still have to keep our drive. The players are just coming out. But realistically, our best chance of silverware this season is that Champions League. And that's everything. You know, if we're being totally honest with ourselves, that's what we're looking at. Milo Williams, Wagwan, bro. Gabriel shut down for the rest of the season. White or Kivior against Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo, something I'm not sure about. I think Ben White, if Ben White is playing in the centre back position, I feel far more comfortable. If he's at right back against Vinicius, I'm terrified. You know, he can't do one-on-one defending. We've seen it with we've seen it with Doku, we've seen it with Rashford, we've seen it with a few different wingers, tricky wingers. I don't want Ben White at right back. He's also just coming back from injury. I think the centre back position makes the most sense. And one of the things I broke down on the tactical insight video with James is that what Real Madrid do a lot is they do a lot of interchanging and interconnecting. So it's not it wouldn't necessarily be a traditional one-on-one battle like Arsenal would just have Martinelli, and it would just be Martinelli against the right back. They don't really play like that. They tend to invert and switch around quite a lot. You know, Ben White would often be finding himself running against Bellingham, for example. Bellingham drifts out wide and starts going there, and Vinicius cuts inside. What Arsenal are going to have to do is a lot of zonal defending. It's not going to be one-on-one, man-to-man defending. It's going to be just defending the zones, which is something that Arsenal have done for a long, long time. Wenger used to do zonal defending as well. And if it's that type of zonal defending and defending space rather than a one-on-one defender, I think at centre-back, that suits Ben White much, much more. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of confidence and helps you feel like it's not going to be too bad. I don't know if that helped out at all, Milo, but Endurian Timber one-on-one is a very, very good one-on-one defender. He you know, played really well against PSG, against Bradley Barcola. Barcola is not the level maybe of a Vinicius, but he's still a very difficult, tricky winger to deal with. Like I say, that for me, that's how I see it personally. Do you know what I mean? Timber at right back gives me a little bit of hope, and Ben White at centre back gives me a little bit of hope as well. And like I said, I made the most unbelievable steak sandwich, bro. This steak sandwich is just looking too peak, bro. So I need to get involved in this. I'm not even joking. Before the game starts, the man's got to start commentating. The player's about to take kickoff in a minute. Players just coming onto the pitch. Like the video as well. And we're live again tonight. I'm live now, obviously for the game, and then I'm having a couple hours break, and then around 7:30, 8 o'clock, Shane and I are live again for the boxing. We've got boxing tonight. The fight that should have been White versus Joseph Parker, but it's now Philip Hrgovic against Joseph Parker. That's tonight. David Adelaide on the card. It's going to be an interesting card as well. It's going to be a good undercard. Good fight. The sandwich is so peak. I'm not going to lie. Mikel Arteta obviously up against David Moyes, manager that brought him into English football, 20 years ago now? That makes me feel old. I remember watching Mikel Arteta in an Everton shirt. That makes me feel old. I'm going to break down the whole card, yeah? But I think Philip Hrgovic stops Joe Joyce. You said inside 10. I think even earlier than that. If Joe Joyce keeps getting hit, because every fight, his punch resistance in his chin is getting worse and worse and worse, bro. Like I could see round 6. I think potentially round 6, bro. But if you're around tonight, I don't know if you're out tonight, but if you're around tonight, definitely jump on the live because that live's gonna be lit. Shane's gonna be here for that as well. This steak sandwich is peak. They taking a knee for Black Lives Matter. Does that still happen? That was bare random. Okay, we're off. Nothing silly, lads. Nothing silly. I think this is a defense here that we can get at. Like, we can get at this defense. And James Tarkowski, yeah, don't pull none of that fuckery, them fouls that we saw last week against Liverpool, bro. This ain't a derby, innit? Just settle on that because man can't have players getting injured going into the Real Madrid game. Do you know what I'm saying? It will be death threats if James Tarkowski goes and injures someone on our team right now. It's good to see Ben White back though. First half Ben White in a while. That free kick was kind of dead from Everton. Pickford has just fluffed his lines against Trossard. Trossard just put pressure on him, and Pickford's rattled, bruv. It didn't really. To be fair, Everton got back quickly. Ben White now, right back across the box. Oh, it's almost 1-0 already. That was a heavy touch from Ranieri, though. I did see Beto versus Saliba. What a battle that is. And Saliba gets the free kick. That was a good battle. That was a good battle, to be fair. Arsenal could have made that 1-0 early. And Ben White, it was not the best finish from Sterling. He just hits that straight into the defender, but Trossard putting pressure on the keeper. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Adelaide, man. West London boy. Is Jamie from West as well? I think they're talking about like knowing each other from the roads or something like that. I know David's from West. David's from my sides, but last time I watched David Adelaide fight, he embarrassed me, but I was gassing it. Cross comes in for Everton. Ben White just gets it clear. Is Ben White right back right now? Is he playing right back? I've never seen TKV fight. I'll be real. I'll be so real. I've never seen him fight. But I know David's on Mind Games. He loves the promotional thing. David loves the promotion. Trossard's in the box. Tries to drive that ball across the box. They've headed it back to Pickford, to be fair. Everton looking rattled at home already on the main stage. Rattled. It's a big tackle that's come in on Ethan Wanieri. It's not a foul, but that is like, yeah, it's a big tackle. It might just about be a foul. Yeah, it's a foul. What's annoying about that is not only is it a foul, yeah, but just like from Patterson, it's a good firm tackle. Obviously, I'm talking as an Arsenal fan, innit? Wanieri's only 17. Patterson's hitting him with a big, like, bullying tackle. And, like, it's not necessary. Like, man are not even attacking your goal. Like, we're not own half, my G. Like, what, like, it's 4 minutes in, bro. Like, what are we doing, bro? Straight Brexit football, these man. Yeah, Ben White's actually playing right back. Oh no, I knew that already. What am I saying? I knew that already. I said I want to see him centre back against Real Madrid. I'm bugging. Sterling trying to go 1-on-1 against O'Brien. Gets Arsenal's first corner. Am I bugging? Like that foul on Nwaneri is just unnecessary. Like corners would be interesting. Obviously, Gabriel's our main threat. Saliba's still in there. Gabriel's not there. Ben White's in there. Because I think Real Madrid's back four has got some injuries as well. So I think corners is a good chance for us to score against Real Madrid. Declan Rice got a good corner. Everton get their first. It's another corner. Both corners are good chances for us to score against Real Madrid. They're not great at defending corners, but they also don't really score corners. Now, only Rudiger is really a threat. The other centre backs are out injured. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we can even break from when Real Madrid have a corner, yeah, we can even break from there. Second corner. It's another good delivery. Sterling, can Rice get there? That's just a good tackle. That's a great tackle. Arsenal, we're in. Sterling. We just lacking a number 9. Sterling played the ball across for Nwaneri. Nwaneri wasn't really doing a typical striker's job. The Arsenal players are complaining and arguing, but I think that was good play. That was a really good tackle from Lewis Skelly, I think it was. Yeah, I think Trossard wanted that ball cut back to him. I think if Trossard got that ball, he's having a shot there. And dies. Release Beto. It's a great ball. Saliba standing him up. It's a little sneak. Oh, it's a good back heel from Beto. Decore, feet. Beto gets the shot away. Blocked. Arsenal's got it now. We can get that clear, surely. Can we get it clear? Just about, but Everton have got it again. It's going to come straight back. Good defender from Miles. Miles is playing well already. That was a great pass from Ndiaye. Little reverse passing. Little stick ball through. And it was Saliba's recovery pace that made it difficult for Everton. But that was decent. That was a good play from Everton, to be fair. And Ndie's a player. And how long Ndiaye stays at Everton, I do not know, because he's a real player. Everton just buying them soft fouls. Soft. Arsenal with a bit of a break. I reckon Trossard might look for a shot. Good feet from Trossard. He brought down, no foul. That was good feet, though. And the banner's going around for Kevin Campbell. Rest in peace, Kevin Campbell as well. Legend. Sterling just gave the ball away there so cheaply. Big round of applause there for Kevin Campbell. What a man. Sterling again against O'Brien, I think. Finds Lewis Skelly. We've got to find a shot here. It's a good ball to Marino. We're playing some good balls into the box, man. We're playing some really good passing moves into the box. Remember, Marino got a goal and an assist last game. He's an effective attacker, Marino, honestly. Arsenal, Declan Rice corner. Oh, I think a defender has just headed it off his own crossbar. Let's see that again. Branthwaite gets there first. So he's just not off his own crossbar, but that was going straight in. That was actually going straight in from Declan Rice's corner, and Branthwaite just knocked it away. And Wanyeri comes over. He's going to take the first corner from this side. Left foot in swinger. To the back post. We get there first. Can we get a shot? Kivior just couldn't get it out of his feet, I don't think. And Everton are going to try and break. Now Arsenal get it clear. I thought the corner was overhit at first, but I think it was perfect. David Raya does well under pressure. Not too much pressure, but Jorginho out to Sterling. Haven't seen Jorginho on the ball too much. Sterling trying to take Jack Harrison for a run, but Jack Harrison gets the foul. That's what's so annoying about Sterling. Like, he don't have that pace anymore, but it's like he doesn't know he doesn't have that pace anymore. Good closing down from Arsenal, closing down that attack. Good play from Wanyeri. Jorginho trying to pop that ball into the box, but it doesn't come off. We're creeping and we're knocking. Same old problems. It's just that lack of a real number 9. That's all it is. That lack of a real number 9 is a problem. Marino's gone down injured. What's happened there? Oh, okay. The ball just hit him in the face. Nothing too serious. Anytime I see an Arsenal player down, I just start panicking. Kivior's given away a foul. Up and down, Decore. Second Everton free kick. The first one didn't really do too much. Let's see what this one can do. Brandthwaite sort of on the edge of the box. They've got big guys in there as well. They've got Decore, they've got Beto. They've got people to aim at. That's a better cross. That one's dangerous. Or it's just deflected. It could go anywhere. It's away. Good feet. No, not good feet. We've lost it. We just got to get it clear. Was that Kivior just dummying and not getting rid of it? It's a good free kick. Just bobbling around uncomfortably in the box. And Ben White thrown to the floor. It's definitely a foul. Good to see Ben White back. Obviously, he had surgery on his ankle, I think it was. Yellow card for O'Brien as well. I think that's about right. That's some pushing in the box between Kivior and Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky fancies this against Kivior. That's who they aim at. And Tarkovsky doesn't get the first contact. And I wonder, Arsenal could be away here. Wanyeri, Ben White running and overlapping. So good to see Ben White back on the pitch running and overlapping like he used to. Well, my bro. Big game on Tuesday. You ready for that? I believe we can win, I'm not going to lie. If we can win at home, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen. Good playing out from Arsenal. It looked a little bit sketchy for a minute, but a couple of good passes later. Sterling's just slowed the game down a little bit, though. Little 1-2 with Trossard, and he's in behind. Good feet. And Jake O'Brien just pushes him to the floor. I don't know how the ref has not given a foul for that. Jake O'Brien, lucky boy. Very, very lucky. It would have been a soft second yellow, but it's just pushing Sterling to the floor. Yeah, bro. Nah, big man tip, bro. Bro, a corner, a hand of God. A hand of God didn't even went now. They got VAR, but literally, bro. Like the thing is, yeah, their defense is suspect, isn't it? Like they've like conceded some of the most goals in the whole Champions League. So their league defending is good, but their Champions League defending hasn't been good. Firm challenge, I think, from Idrissa Gueye on Trossard, and the ref's given a free kick. And you know what? I actually don't think this is a free kick. Let me have a look at this again. That one's not a free kick. I think that the ref has bottled the last one where Jack Harrison and Jake O'Brien pushed Sterling to the floor, and the ref has kind of given this one as almost compensation. But I don't think that's a foul. But there you go. We're about 45 yards out. Too far for a shot, but good look at a cross. But yeah, if we can come back and win at home, by the time we go to their ground, bro, man will see the rudest low block in football history. Man don't understand. If we can get a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win at home against Real Madrid, yeah, we'll sneak 14 players onto the pitch to defend. Wanyeri puts the cross in back post. It's a little bit overhit. Can we get it back into the box again? Trossard. I've got a feeling Trossard's going to score. It's great football. That's really lovely football. Saliba, can you get a cross in the box? Saliba cuts back on his left. Ben White. Kivior. Oh, the cross is over here. The cross is overhit from Kivior, I think that was. That was really good football from Arsenal, though. When we play like that and we put those passing phases together, man can't get near us. Nearly 22 minutes in. We should slightly be 1-0 up by now. Maybe not we should be 1-0 up, but we very well could be 1-0 up by now, if we're being real. David Raya taking no chances. Everton put a lot of focus on trying to press the goalkeeper. Ben White sending it forward. That's just the ref is being silly now. It's not a foul. Just not for every contact. The ref's in his own head. You can see it. The ref's in his own head. Where are Everton even in the table anyway? Like, what are you man fighting for? Arsenal on the breakaway. Trossard. Wanyeri's arriving. Can Trossard find a pass? That last touch is too heavy. Wanyeri brought down in the box, but I don't think it's going to be enough for a penalty. That was great tackle from Rice. Rice and Wanyeri were both there. That last touch from Trossard is too heavy. And I think he was trying to set himself up for a shot. He should have released that ball. Lewis Skelly caught in it now. Everton trying to come forward. Arsenal have numbers back. Saliba almost had it there. And Dyche, good block. Trossard's pissing me off this game. He pisses me off every game. He's got such a big attitude. I don't know what it is. Is it just me? Everton literally fighting for nothing. They're currently 15th. Even if they win, they jump up to 13th. Don't really do much for them. They're finishing the bottom half of the table regardless. So Leandro Trossard, man, he's just frustrated. He's got the talent, but the decision making, just a little bit selfish. Kivior with a good slide tackle, putting his body on the line. Oh, Trossard could be in again. No, it's cleared. That's a couple times Trossard could be in. The opportunities are there. Their defense is very, very suspect. There's opportunities there. Lewis Skelly releases the ball wide, then drops into midfield. What a moment it's going to be for him on Tuesday. Him and Wanyeri. Do you know what I'm saying? If Wanyeri gets minutes to come and, Lewis Skelly breaking into the first team, getting his first England start, getting a goal on his debut, getting a goal against Man City, and then Champions League quarter-final, Real Madrid. It's mad. Better of a cynical foul on Saliba. I think that could be a yellow card. I'm not going to lie. No real attempt at the ball. Just, yeah, ref's not going to give me yellow, but I don't like them ones. No attempt on the ball whatsoever. Ben White knocking it out for Wanyeri. A little bit overhit. Arsenal just need to keep getting themselves on the ball. And get ourselves on the ball, we look dangerous. We can score against these. Jorginho not happy with the lack of urgency. It looks like, it's the same thing we said about Arsenal for a lot of the season. Just a little bit of lack of urgency. Don't stress about Trossard. Flemish gents tend to be nonchalant. He's definitely got that nonchalant sort of attitude about him, right? It's not just me, right? I'm definitely seeing that. He fell out of his last manager, obviously, at Brighton. Just some of those decisions sometimes. He's got the tech. He's got it all. It's just the decision making. He's got the finish. He's got, there's so much play. He's running through. He's got Rice just next to him. He's got Wanyeri on the far side. And when he makes a mistake, there's not really an apology. There's not really that sort of body language. Maybe it's a British thing. Maybe it is just a cultural. He's Flemish. We're British here. We just would like to see like a little sorry, a little hand up, some sort of gesture. The players don't seem to have thought about it too much. I'm probably thinking about it more than they are. Miles Lewis Skelly's pass was cut out. Some of the passes, we've still got the ball there. Some of the passes are just a little bit obvious, a little bit slow, a little bit predictable. And because of that, Everton are able to get some interceptions in. We saw one just now with Lewis Skelly. We've seen one before with Sterling. And again, Lewis Skelly in particular, he's capable. He goes for a long diag and get out to Wanyeri, and again it's overhit. Wanyeri dying for some service, to be fair. He's crying out for some service. He's there. He wants to run. He wants to run at the fullback. Nathan Patterson out there, left back. He's only got 8 matches under his belt. They're both young players, and Wanyeri fancies it, and you can see he wants the ball. And that's part of the game plan. They're trying to rope Everton in and then hit the diag, but the quality is just not there. Wanyeri finds himself on the ball now, though. And we work it backwards. Yeah, I know Wanyeri he wants to get himself face up. One thing about Wanyeri, he's direct. He wants to get the ball face up and go and face up the fullback. I think was that Marino just offside there. Coming up to half an hour in, and again, we really want Arsenal to have done more. No shots on target for either team. 3 shots for Arsenal, 1 for Everton. Just really want to see a bit more urgency, a bit more directness. Arsenal lose that duel, that 1-1, and now Everton have the ball. There's Nathan Patterson on the ball. Ben White intercepts and gives it away straight afterwards. Waneri's defending though, cross back post and goes straight out. Again, another sort of lazy, nonchalant pass. Ben White and Raheem Sterling both haven't played a lot of football. Raheem Sterling's not been playing, and Ben White is coming back for injury. But some of these things, I'll be honest, they're pretty much like unforgivable stuff. Especially when you're looking at playing Real Madrid, who will punish every mistake. Some of this stuff is unforgivable. Simple 5 yard pass, we're not making, or we're just making it slow, nonchalant. And again, nonchalant's the best word to describe it, but we just need a little bit more intensity, that mental intensity, just to be just focus, be in the game. Sterling, since he's come to Arsenal, just kind of drifting in and out of the game a little bit. Look at that from Jorginho. Jorginho's not the most physical, athletic player, but just sensible decision making, touch, release. Miles Lewis Skelly now. He's fouled by Garner. That could be a yellow card. Everton have got away with a few. They've got away with a couple. That's very late. And it's not even foot to foot. It's a little bit high, but it's not high enough for a red. But we could definitely see a yellow card for that kind of challenge. Waneri battling against Patterson, just gets beyond him, but the ball, it just overruns the ball as well. See a few Arsenal fans on Twitter saying his touch is a little bit heavy, and he's 17, 18. He needs to play through that. We can see his technical ability is there. Do you know what I'm saying? The touch has definitely been a little bit baggy, but the passing is there, the IQ is there, the finishing and the confidence is there. He's got to focus. He's got to work on his touch a little bit, but that will definitely come. Players like him, he's got the hard bits. The hard parts of the development are done. Another heavy touch from an Everton player that time. Ben White slams him with a tackle and celebrates that tackle as well. It's so good having Ben White back. I think that Ben White just gives the whole team a lift. Honestly, play anywhere across the back four, can play football on the floor, good from set pieces on both ends. Big talker, big leader. It's really, really necessary in this team. Everton try to cross it in. Sterling. 2 attackers against 3 defenders. Sterling finds Trossard. Could he find a shot? He does find a shot. It's in 1-0. Yes, I said we've got to be more direct. I said it. Trossard beats his chest, barely celebrates, just says, come on. What a goal that is. Lahom was right. He said, just bear with him. He said, bear with him. It's that Flemish nonchalance. Just bear with him, he said. I said, cool. Let's bear with him. Let's see what you can do. Bang, 1-0, 33 minutes in. And it's been coming, to be fair. Everton haven't really offered too much. Let's be real. That's the first shot on target, pretty much. And Sterling just gets on that ball, starts driving directly. Branthwaite made up a bit of ground. Trossard is there again. Everton have got to be furious with that. He's standing up against 4 defenders. 5 defenders. There's 5 defenders and just Trossard. And he manages to pull that shot away. Everton have got to be furious with that. And David Moyes hangs his head in shame. I think it goes through the legs of the first defender. 1-0 Arsenal. Got a good time to score as well. And Garner and Tarkowski having a bit of a conversation, and straight away Everton go over the top. And it goes out for a corner. That's the thing. When you've got a big number 9 like Beto, you just play the ball into him, man. He's a really difficult player. A bit like Mateta. Difficult player to try to deal with. Tarkovsky's coming up now. He wants to attack this corner. Good catch from David Raya. Good catch. He's got attackers right on his shoulders. And he just gets in amongst it and gathers really well. Ten minutes left. We've got a decent amount of control. That's the first shot on target. I think surely we go for another one. Surely. Trying to play it out. Ben White, Rice, Ben White again. Ben White's lost the ball. And that's a poor clearance. That is a poor clearance. Ben White sends it out for a goal kick. I don't know who cleared it, but like it wasn't a pass out and it wasn't a clearance either. It was just sort of sat in the middle. Declan Rice loses out to it. Ben White goes to go down the line and then realizes there's nothing there. Saliba's put in a tough position. But that clearance from Saliba's awful. You just got to send that. Just send that right to the flag. But instead, we've welcomed that pressure straight back on us. It looked like Saliba went to pass it to Rice, and Rice is expecting him to clear it. But I think Ndai's going to go for a corner. They go for the short corner, then a cross. It's blocked straight away, hitting Declan Rice, I think it is. Another cross into the box. Oh, Declan Rice has missed it. Declan, what was that? We've got Real Madrid next week, son. Another cross into the box, and I think that's Branthwaite sends it over. And then he lays on the floor, looks at the ref. Come on, mate. Come on. Awful acting. Terrible acting. I don't know what Rice was trying to do there. Man did a dirty wine. I don't know what he just did there. I think Marino and who is that? O'Brien have gone for it at the same time. Both getting treatment. Marino's had a tough time since he's come to Arsenal. It's just been constant injuries, head clashes, shoulder. He's been in the wars since he's come to the club. But he might not be the most technical player, and he might not be the player that we wanted. But I'm always going to respect Marino for what he's done so far since he's come to the club, because he's just made it as he's just done what he can in difficult circumstances. It was Idrissa Gana Gueye who just headed it back to the I can't even say back to the goalkeeper. It was going halfway line. Just headers it into no man's land. Just headers it nowhere. Poor from him. And then Sterling gets on the run. It was Branthwaite getting the medical treatment. Marino's still down. This could be a real problem for us. Oh, it looks like he's going to be getting up now. There's Ashley Young getting suited up to come on. Andrea Berta in attendance, Arsenal sporting director. Fresh from Atletico. Marino's sitting up, which is a good sign. But can he play on? Probably not. I wonder if there. It looks like his head's bleeding. I think they are just going to bandage him up and get him to play on again. That's going to really damage his. It's a good thing he's not playing striker. He's not really going to want to go and head the ball too much after that. I mean, he'll go and do it. Obviously, like I say, I respect him so much for what he's done since he's come to the club of just putting in a shift wherever he can, doing whatever he can. I wasn't a fan of him at all. I felt like he was ghosting in a lot of games, but he's really come good, to be honest. He's going to have to step off the pitch for a minute or so. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but he's going to have to step off the pitch before he can come back on. Let's not do anything silly now in this period of time while he's off. Another foul from Ghana. Everton got to start picking up some of these yellow cards, I think. There's only that one yellow card for Branthwaite at the moment. Again, that could be a yellow card. He's on the wrong side of him, goes through the back leg, nowhere near the ball. I think there's a good shout that could be a yellow card. I really do. Who would you start up front and at centre back against Madrid, and why? I think for me, I was saying earlier, it would have to be Ben White and Saliba centre backs. They're the biggest. We're probably going to defend zonally because of the way that Real Madrid move. Saliba just turning backwards into Beto. We're living risky here, Arsenal, for no real reason. We're 1-0 up, 42 minutes in. We can send the ball long. We're choosing to play really risky. Why are we doing this? Back to the goalkeeper again. Raya, send it long. Raya, please send it long. Raya, send it long. We've played it short to Jorginho. We're obviously trying to rope them into some sort of counter-attacking trap, but they've not taken the bait. So Jorginho will carry the ball out. It's a good switch out wide, to be fair. Trossard. Still Trossard. Can we find Wanyeri? We do. Here he is now. This is what Wanyeri wants. He wants to be one-on-one against the fullback. Can't quite get the cross in against Ndiaye. No shame in that. Ndiaye is a good player. But yeah, for me, it would be Ben White. Ben White centre back and Timber right back. Timber's stats as a one-on-one defender, he did really well against Bradley Barcola. One-on-one defending against tricky wingers, Timber's probably the best player we've got. And Ben White, again, big, strong, competent, good communicator. That's what I would see. Lewis Skelly, left back, Timber, right back, Saliba, Ben White, centre. And then up front, I'd be tempted to go with Marino. He's been in good goal scoring form. I liked what I saw against Fulham, both the way he took the goal. I know the finish wasn't the best, but he just took the shot nice and quick. If that's Havertz, he takes the touch. If that's Jesus, he does a dummy and tries to get it onto his right foot. Just get the shot away as quickly as possible. And that's what I like about Marino at the moment. Just get the shot away. And then, yeah, obviously Martinelli out wide. If Martinelli, his pace up against Lucas Vasquez could be a real nightmare. Arsenal just playing with this ball on the edge of their own box here, running down the clock. Wanyeri again, another run up against Patterson to the byline this time. cross away. I don't know if that was a cross or a shot, but goes for a goal kick regardless. So yeah, I'd like to see Marino. And something that Marino did that I thought was really good when Martinelli got the ball against Fulham, started driving direct through the middle. Marino just naturally underlapped, went wide, and created a trident. Martinelli goes wide to him, and Marino puts that ball back across. I thought that was really good understanding. That type of positional moving around and flexibility is what we're going to need um, against Real Madrid. I think that Marino is just showing that at this moment. Trossard is, just got a goal here. I think Trossard will have a say in the match as well. I think he'll be involved. Trossard, coming off the bench, I think makes sense. But I would still start Martinelli and Saka with Marino up top. Plus, their defensive line is so heavily rotated. Ferland Mendy's injured. Alaba, I think, might be injured. Rudiger just come back from injury. They then don't have their natural kind of starting centre backs. I think maybe Rudiger will be there, but the others I don't think will be there. So having someone that you can just always whip crosses into, if push comes to shove, is good. They're not used to defending Real Madrid, so that will be a different type of situation and solution for different type of problem to pose to them. So I'm not against it. 6 minutes of added time, 46 and a half gone. So we're going to go all the way to what? 51. Raya goes long. Defenders just heading the ball up in the air. And again, Marino, the ball was kind of bouncing near him and he went with his foot when he probably could have made it easier to go with his head. But coming off that head injury, you don't really want to go and be heading the ball straight away. Jorginho, can you find a pass? No, slows it down. Those are some of the little moments where Jorginho's getting pressed by two people. He's in the middle of the park. He's got, sort of 5 yard radius of space. An elite. He's a good footballer, but the elite footballers will find a pass to go forwards. That's a great. Speaking of passes to go forwards, there's a ball over the top. Trossard, he tries to get a shot away. He does get a shot away, and I think Trossard is down injured now. Rice got the second shot away on the follow up. Marino, Arsenal will come again with another attack. Arsenal just lost out on that ball. Jorginho with a decent tackle. It's all got a bit scrappy. Arsenal come away with the ball. And now Arsenal get a free kick. Amad Diallo, what are you saying? Amad Diallo, what are you saying, man? He's saying Marcus Rashford and Anthony Elanga, they're happier without you. Another heavy touch from Trossard. And there's a good shout. That could have been a penalty. Trossard does so well to keep on his to keep going, to keep on his feet. Rice follows up, tries to get a shot away. It's Jordan Pickford again, flying into a challenge against an attacker. How many attackers has Jordan Pickford injured by recklessly running out of his box? I don't know why Arsenal fans hype about Madrid game. Madrid isn't the only club left in the Champions League. Yeah, but they're the only club we're playing. So we're just talking about the game that we have to play. What else should we talk about? We're not going to talk about Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund, are we? We're going to talk about the game that we're playing in, which is Arsenal against Real Madrid. So that's what we're assessing and talking about. What are you talking about? Sometimes some of the stuff you say don't make any sense. 49 minutes in, Branthwaite. It's Branthwaite that's on a yellow card, isn't it? Is it Branthwaite on a yellow card? No, it's O'Brien, Jake O'Brien, the right back. I think Idrissa Gana Gay is very lucky to get out of this half without a yellow card. I think Branthwaite's also a little bit lucky to get out of this half without a yellow card as well, to be honest. Ball thrown in. Raheem Sterling picks it up. I've totally forgotten the last 5 minutes Raheem Sterling was even playing. He's brought down with no real challenge on the ball. He can't believe he's not got a free kick for that. Raheem Sterling showing no interest in tracking back whatsoever. Saliba does really well. Couple minutes left before half time. I don't think anyone thinks that going against Real Madrid gets us the trophy. But Real Madrid, obviously, they've won it the most times. I think for us, from a psychological perspective, it'd be good, right? You know, we've been part of this like Arteta project. We've got better in the league. We're clearly a better team than when we were finishing eighth. And Dyche's going to look for a shot. It's just over. And Dyche's really good, really, really good player. But that one was over. I think for us, you know, like when we first beat City, we had 6 years when we couldn't beat City. Then suddenly we beat City. And then after we beat City that one time, 1-0, yeah, we've beat City like 3 times on the trot now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when the fear factor of Manchester City is gone. I'm not saying Manchester City won't beat us. I'm not saying Manchester City are not a good team. But we used to be terrified of playing Manchester City. And now we're not terrified of playing them anymore. Since Arteta's come in, we've not got past the round of 16 in the Champions League. We're past the round of 16 in the Champions League for the first time. And we're up against Real Madrid. Now, be honest, when we drew Real Madrid, everyone said, you lot are screwed. Real Madrid's going to slap you, blah, blah, blah. If we beat Real Madrid, what it means for us as a team mentally and emotionally, half time, by the way, in the Arsenal game, we'll talk about this game, but let's talk about the Madrid game because really that's the big talking point. You know, what it would do for us in the from a psychological perspective is prove to ourselves more than anything we deserve to be there. We deserve to be at this level. Don't mean that we win it. Barcelona's in there. Inter Milan is tough. Inter Milan has the best defensive record in the Champions League this season. So they have a good shout to be favourites. But you know, and Rafinha's, you know, having a Ballon d'Or-esque type of season, and obviously Lewandowski, Yamal, like Barcelona's there as well. But for us as Arsenal to go from 5 years ago, we weren't in the Champions League at all, to being able to get past Real Madrid if we can, that is another sign of a real turnaround at the club. Doesn't mean we win. Doesn't mean we win at all. Do you know what I'm saying? And you look at like if we were to win, who we would be up against next. I'm just looking at the bracket because I can't even remember who's on our side. So I think the feeling is if we were to get past Real Madrid, for example, Aston Villa play PSG. If we assume that PSG get past Aston Villa, we already beat PSG. We've played them in the group stage and we beat them. So again, that fear factor for Arsenal fans is gone. When we first got drawn in the group to play against PSG, Arsenal fans were terrified because we were last season and season before that we were getting knocked out by Sporting Lisbon and these types of players, right? And Porto and all the rest of it. Now we get past those teams. We played PSV Eindhoven a couple of years ago. Really, really difficult game. This year we beat them 7-0. So it's another sign in the development of this team that there's another level you can go. There's another level you can go. So I don't think that it's just as simple as if we beat them, we can win it. But if we get past Real Madrid, we potentially get PSG. We've already beaten PSG once this season. I can't remember what the scores were, but I know we beat them one of the games, or maybe we drew against them. Yeah, we beat them 2-0 in October. I agree, because the one thing they didn't have is Kvaratskhelia. Now in January they got Kvaratskhelia in, and he's taken them to another level. But I'm just talking about psychologically the fear factor. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's what it is. That it's all psychological. Do you know what I mean? Look, for 5 years we couldn't beat Manchester City. It didn't matter what players they had, what players we had. We went and signed Aubameyang. We went and signed Lacazette. We went and signed like good players. We're playing good football. But psychologically, this is Man City. We can't get past it. Psychologically, because we've already beaten PSG, we know we can beat PSG because we've already done it. Not the same PSG. You know, it's a different fine. They're an improved PSG for sure. But if we can beat Real Madrid and we go and play a PSG team we've already beaten this season, psychologically, it's going to give you a big boost. Do you know what I mean? And then listen, if we could after that get through to a final, the other bracket is harder to predict because what happens between Bayern and Inter, that's a 50-50 game. Barcelona, you probably give the edge over Dortmund, and then who goes through between Barcelona, Dortmund, Barcelona, Bayern, and Inter? I don't know. But in a cup final, anything can happen. So for Arsenal fans, I think if we can get through Real Madrid, the confidence is we can get to a final. And if we can get to a cup final, then listen, anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? That's where we're drawing our confidence. That's what we're seeing. Like people are asking us, what's the route? It's not that Real Madrid shit. We're gonna beat them. We're better than them. No, most Arsenal fans expect us to lose, but we're playing Real Madrid, who have their left back Ferland Mendy is injured, their right back Danny Carvajal is injured, David Alaba is injured. They're playing Garcia at left back, who's really not that great. They're playing Vasquez at right back, who's decent but not really a right back. Martinelli, I believe, can get out Vasquez in individual battles. Their team is better than our team, 100%. I'm not arguing that. They've got Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo. That front three, terrifying. Yeah. Then you've got Valverde and Bellingham adding to it, like that attacking five, terrifying. But on the defensive end, they've played Camavinga left back. They've played Chouameni centre back. David Alaba is injured. They concede goals. They just conceded 4 goals against Sociedad in the Copa del Rey. They've conceded 17 goals in 10 games. I did a tactical insight breakdown on AFTV. I think it's coming up tomorrow. I said the good things about Real Madrid. I'm just looking at my notes here. The goals are evenly spread across their front three, right? So Mbappe and Vinicius both have 7, and Rodrigo has 5. And I did a whole tactical breakdown of how they move and how they move in different positions, and how Mbappe kind of plays as a false 9 and then joins the attack later and all this kind of stuff. But they struggle to break down low block teams. They do. Do you know what I mean? Their lowest XG this season was 1.04. That was against Osasuna, and they couldn't break them down because Osasuna is a defensive team. Arsenal have one of the best defenses anywhere in Europe, statistically. So if we can get out of the Emirates game with a 1-0 or a 2-1 or a slim line victory, even if it's 1 goal, we can set up a really solid defense against them and really frustrate them and just try and hit them on the counter attack at their ground. Do you know what I mean? So that's what the teams are saying. This team bottle league against Southampton. How do you have the confidence against a club like Real Madrid? If you're obviously not listening to what I'm saying, it's not confidence. People have asked me, how can Arsenal win the league? All I do, I'm not saying. I just said to you a second ago. Again, you're not listening. I just said a second ago. Most Arsenal fans think we will lose. If I had £1 million and I had to bet, I'd bet it on Real Madrid. But people ask me, how can we win? What can Arsenal do to win this game against Real Madrid? So I'm looking at how Arsenal can win the game against Real Madrid. How can we win? Well, one of the ways we can win is looking at the goals. They've conceded 17 goals in 12 games. We've in the Champions League, we've only conceded 6 goals in 10 games. Do you know what I mean? When it was the draw and we got Real Madrid, if you remember, a lot of our fans didn't want Madrid. They wanted Milan. AC Milan, that our fans wanted, they beat Real Madrid. They beat them 3-1 at the Bernabeu. Do you know, Real Madrid have lost at home in the Champions League this year, this campaign. So it's not that I'm super confident. It's just a question of working out how we could potentially win. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. AC Milan beat Real Madrid this year, and do you know where AC Milan are in the Italian league? 9th. They're not even fighting for the title. They're 9th in the league. Do you know what I mean? And that team that's 9th in the Serie A beat Real Madrid this season. A fully fit Real Madrid. Modric was fit. Rudiger was fit. A fully fit Real Madrid. They had all their stars, and they beat them. Do you know what I mean? That AC Milan team is not better than Arsenal. They're not. Arsenal are 2nd in the Premier League. AC Milan are 9th in the Serie A, and they still beat Real Madrid. So it's not. It's not a question of how do I have the confidence that we're going to win. I don't know that we are going to win, but I have to look at. I support Arsenal, so my job is to try to look at how Arsenal can win. What things can we do to win? Where are their weaknesses? Yes, they have big superstars up top. Do you know what I mean? They're attacking front three, all world-class superstars. Their midfield, really good. Do you know what I mean? Bellingham, I've got all the stats on Bellingham's ground duels and how he wins so many duels and all the ground that Valverde covers and all the rest of it. Yes, but the fact is they're just another football team. Do you know what I mean? We create this big thing in our heads about the team. They're just another football team. For Arsenal, like you said, we bottled it against Southampton or whatever. we have to not be in our head when we go and play these games. We can't be in our heads when we go and play these games. They're just another football team. Yeah, he's good. He's a good player. We're just another football team. And then we go, and then we go. It's not arrogance. We have to have that belief. You bet that AC Milan will win against Arsenal. Well, I mean, that don't really make sense. AC Milan are not doing well in their league. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. You would probably lose that bet if you're looking at AC Milan and thinking they'll beat Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So AC Milan have won one in their last 6 games. They lost to Napoli 2-1. They lost to Bologna 2-1. They lost to Lazio 2-1. They drew with Inter 1-1. They drew with Feyenoord 1-1. They lost to Torino 2-1. They lost to Feyenoord 1-0. Like they've not been good. If I'm just being real, they've not been good. They lost to Dinamo Zagreb 2-1. The only team they've beat in the Champions League is Girona. They drew with Roma 1-1. They beat that dead team from Prague. They just about got past Slovan Bratislava. They just got past them 3-2. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not confidence. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm just assessing the football game. That's what it is. Otherwise, it's a boring show. If you want me to just come on YouTube and say, well, we're Arsenal, we're bottlers, fuck it, we're going to lose, lads, let's go home, let's leave it. Like, what do you want to do? It will be interesting to watch a duel between Jude and Declan. 100%. 100%. I think Jude's got better legs. I think Jude moves more. I think he's better in the attacking third. But I think in the midfield third, I think Declan will definitely win some of the duels. 100%. He'll win some of the duels, 100%. Most top European teams play different on European Cup. Look at Dortmund, they're shit in the league most of the time and then pop off in Europe. Yeah, but again, even if we just look at AC Milan's, you're not listening, bro. You're just talking to yourself. Like, you're not actually listening to what I'm saying. If we just look at AC Milan's Champions League results, just their Champions League results, they're still not good. Just their Champions League results. 1-0 against Girona. Girona are shit. 2-1 against some team, I don't even know how to say their name. They lost 2-1 to Dinamo Zagreb. They lost 1-0 to Feyenoord. And they played Feyenoord twice and couldn't beat them. They played Feyenoord twice and couldn't beat them. And they beat Bratislava 3-2, and Bratislava had a player sent off. Do you know what I mean? Like, these man, you're acting like they were balling out in the Champions League. They weren't. In the overall rankings of the Champions League this season, Milan finished 13th. Arsenal finished 3rd. Only Liverpool and Barcelona were better than us. Barcelona were currently the favourites to win the Champions League. At the group stage, they had 19 points. Do you know who else had 19 points at the group stage? Arsenal. Barcelona, Arsenal, and Inter all had 19 points. The only team that had more than us was Liverpool, 21 points, and Liverpool are now out of the competition. So of the teams that are actually in the competition at the end of the group stage after 8 games, Arsenal, Barcelona, and Inter all had 19 points. AC Milan were all the way down in 13th with 15 points. So why would you look at that? You know, you're telling me the group result which most teams play shit. If they play shit in the group result, so you're saying here, listen. So what I'm hearing from you is you think AC Milan will beat Arsenal because you've said I'll put up the chat. I'll put up the chat. You said you think AC Milan will beat Arsenal because yeah, you said you think AC Milan will win against Arsenal. And you said that they play differently in the league. In the league, they're shit. They're 9th. That's shit for a team like AC Milan. Then you said, but they play differently in Europe. Okay. In Europe, they finished 13th. Then you said, no. They play differently in the knockout stages. This is just the groups. Okay. So do you have no evidence to suggest that AC Milan would beat Arsenal? Like, Arsenal's been better than them in the league. We've been better than them in the group stage. You're just saying you think that AC Milan would beat Arsenal because based on nothing, you think that AC Milan, if they were in the knockout stages, they would just somehow find better football from somewhere. They wouldn't bring their league form. They wouldn't bring their form from the group stage. They would just be better just because you think they would be better. That's fine. If that's what you think, then that's fine. Do you know what I'm saying? But you can't just say well, they would play shit in the league and they'd play shit in the group stage. But, you know, trust me, they'd beat Arsenal based on what? What do you mean? That they just would because you think so. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Liverpool were favourites to win the Champions League, and where are they now? Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that Arsenal stand a chance against Real Madrid because Real Madrid were our favourites against Arsenal, but it's a game of football. Anything can happen. So, Liverpool were favourites. PSG were not favourites. PSG found a way to win. It's the same thing. I don't think that it's like crazy for me to think that Arsenal stand a chance. Do you know what I mean? All I'm saying is we stand a chance. I'm not saying I think we're going to win. We stand a chance. Is that wrong? I support the club. What am I supposed to say? We're coming out for the second half. Amad Diallo just wants me to say Arsenal is shit and we're going to lose. What are you going to do? No, I mean, most European clubs, other than England teams, they have something, I don't know, consistent result at the final stage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The last three or four finals that English clubs have been in, they've what the last English club that was in the Champions League final was Man City, Looks like Saka and Martinelli are both coming on. So if we look at Champions League finals with English teams in them, last year was Real Madrid, Dortmund. The year before that was Man City versus Inter. Man City won. The year before that was Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Real Madrid won. So then Chelsea won before that because it was both English teams in the final. Then Bayern beat Paris PSG. Then before that, Liverpool, both English teams in the final. So then before that, it was Chelsea v Bayern. Chelsea won. Do you know what I mean? Like when you say like European teams just find something different in the final, where are we seeing that? Do you know what I mean an English team has lost in the final twice since 2000 in the last 15 years? An English team has lost in the final of the Champions League twice in the last 15 years. Do you know what I mean? Second half underway, by the way. Who's just come on? I think I saw Saka and Martinelli both come on. David Raya just had a howler and he's just absolutely ran out of his goal. I don't know what the hell he was thinking just there. Martinelli's not honest. Just even when Yeri's come off and Bukayo Saka's come on for 45 minutes, which I think it makes sense. Saka needs to get up to match fitness if he's going to be ready to play against Real Madrid on Tuesday. And the ref has blown for a penalty against Miles Lewis Skelly. Another penalty. It's going to go to VAR. It looks. I need to see what's happened here. We're only 1 minute in, but Arsenal look absolutely rattled against Everton for some reason. He's kind of holding off Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison throws him to the floor and then goes down. I don't actually think that's a penalty. I could see VAR overturning this. I think it's a foul outside the box. Then Jack Harrison pulls him down to the floor. Let me know what you lot think. I don't think that's a penalty. I think it's a free kick outside the box. I think Lewis Skelly's fouling Jack Harrison. Then I think Jack Harrison pulls Lewis Skelly's shoulder down. Lewis Skelly comes down. And then Jack Harrison finds himself on the floor as well. But I don't think there's no contact. He doesn't actually touch. He doesn't like grab Jack Harrison's foot. There's no actually once they're in the box. There's no contact once he's going down. In my opinion, you lot let me know what you think. Everton have just come out second half really direct. I think they've given the penalty. They've just come out really direct. Put it on the Arsenal defense. Jorginho's trying to rub in the penalty spot. And Jorginho's going to get a yellow card for that. And it's Ndiaye that's going to take this penalty now. And they're showing on the screen the spread of penalties. He's normally going bottom corner, but he's put 2 to bottom left and 2 to bottom right. They're not always in the corner, though. 2 of them are in the corner. 2 are quite central. Such a silly penalty to give away. We just haven't started well at all. It was only 50 seconds in, and David Raya was flapping at the ball and coming out of his box and all kinds of foolishness. This is why Ahmad thinks we can't win a final. When Dyche steps up, he sends David Raya the wrong way. Skelly's got a young man's temperament. It just comes with age and lack of experience. Yeah, he's young, innit? He's young. But I also think that as a team, we just didn't set up well. That ball shouldn't have even made it there, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the thing is with Lewis Skelly, yeah, he's mad strong. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for 18 years old, he's strong. Like, when you see him play in the 18 in the under 21s, yeah, he's just bullying, man, bro. He's so physically built. But obviously, when you come and play against grown men, yeah, it's a totally different situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's trying to use that same under 21 strength, but he's playing against grown man. Do you know what I'm saying? Ruben Loftus-Cheek was the same. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was a physical specimen when he was like 18, 19. But when he grew into being a full grown man, that strength didn't really continue to develop. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just the way that it is. But yeah, 1-1 anyway. Penalty's gone in, 1-1. They haven't had a shot on target, really. It's a very, very soft penalty, in my opinion. I don't really know how they've given that as a penalty, to be honest with you. It's very, very soft, but it is what it is. It's 1-1. Bukayo Saka's on the pitch. Hopefully he can come up with something and get us back on terms, because, like I say, they've really caught us unawares. It's given shades of Southampton the year before last, where, you could, with Arsenal, you feel like when you start the second half, you can just sort of catch them unawares before they're really even settled, and that looks like that's what they've done here, basically. So not even looks like, that's exactly what they've done here. They've just caught us before we're even ready, before we even got out of bed in the morning. So there you go, Jorginho on a yellow card. We've got to be sensible. They're going to come and press us really aggressively, and we've got to be smart enough to pass around them. Here's Martinelli out on the touchline. I thought it said that Martinelli was on the pitch, but when I looked it up, it didn't say. When I looked it up on my app, it didn't say that's what happened. But now it's telling me that, bruv. This could be interesting as well. Their right back is also on a yellow card. Marino just gets pressed and loses the ball there. Jorginho has to try to avoid diving in to a challenge. Here comes Beto. Was that Decore even? That was Decore, sorry. We're just playing the ball too slow. We're just playing the ball way too slow. And Marino in the midfield, again, I said, like, what he's done, he's put his body on the line, he's given everything, but he still isn't really up to the speed in the midfield of playing at the speed of the Premier League. He wins the ball back there, though. Trossard coming forwards. Martinelli's there. Can Trossard release him? Trossard still being greedy. Releases Martinelli too late. He's got the ball now, though. Martinelli kicks it off the defender for a corner. Trossard has got to release that ball earlier. He's got to. There's a huge space for Martinelli to run into. Martinelli is going to toast O'Brien for speed. Absolutely toast it. Trossard is so frustrating. I had this conversation earlier. He's pissing me off. There's opportunities for him to release the ball time after time. He keeps not doing it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what he's holding the ball for. That's their only shot on target. Their only shot on target's a penalty. They ain't created nothing. But we've done it to ourselves. We should be able to come back and win this game, though. Corner comes in, not the best. It hits the first man. Declan Rice's corners in the first half are very, very good. He's got to do better than that. Lewis Skelly releases the ball. There's a shot in there, but it's blocked. David Raya again coming all the way out to like the halfway line. Why is he up that high? Good touch from Saka. Get off me, Saka says. Get off me, bruv. Martinelli, it's a great ball through. Martinelli, that was a brilliant ball through. Declan Rice just wasn't quite on the same wavelength, but that was really good. That was really, really good. We've got to play the game faster. We know what we know what the plan. We know our game plan. We know our players, and sometimes we just look like we're stuck. We're not sure what we're doing. Like, but we do know the game plan. We have moments of brilliant football, and then moments where we just look so confused. This game ultimately don't mean anything because we're not going to win the league anyway. But it's about the preparation for the midweek game. Do you know what I mean that's what it's all about? We need good preparation. Cross the back post. Trossard. Oh my goodness. Why the fuck did he take that on the volley? Why did he take that? He had 3 to 5 business days to bring that ball down. Why did he take it on the volley? Some of his decisions just confuse me, man. He has some of the worst decision making in a player with his ability. It's mad. It don't make any sense to me. Again, ball over the top. Lewis Skelly just looking at the goal that the well, not the goal, just looking at the penalty shout for Lewis Skelly, and again just misjudges the flight of the ball, and then it's a problem after that. But he'll keep playing. He won't really let it rattle him too much. Everton are pressing us high. We have to be able to play through this. That's better. That's far, far better. That's a good ball from Marino. Is that out for a corner? Rice? Rice has got some really good movement, but he needs to be stronger. He needs to be physically stronger. I think that's gone for a goal kick. It's the thing. We've got a lot of players that are coming back from injury. Martinelli still kind of come back from injury. Saka coming back from injury. They're just not quite sharp. They're not quite as sharp as you would want them to be. They're playing the passes that you want them to play, but they're just playing it a touch or 2 touches later than you'd want them to play it. To be fair, Kivior hasn't been a disaster. I know that was the worry. That was the one that everyone kind of had raised eyebrows about. That's a good ball over the top from Kivior. Speaking of Kivior, Martinelli finds Trossard. Martinelli again. Can someone find a shot? Saka 1-on-1. Well, it's a foul. Foul on Jorginho. And again, that could be that could definitely be a yellow card, ref. Like, what's going on here? Maybe that was not yellow. That one's not yellow. It's another big talking point. Direct free kicks. We don't really have any good direct free kick takers in this team. You think about Erdegaard maybe, but even then, his return on direct free kicks isn't the best. Martinelli standing in an offside position, so if this ball comes over the wall, he has to make sure that he's not interfering with play. Is Saka going to go direct from this? Saka steps up. He tries to just power it through the wall. He's not able to. The ball comes back to him. Ball into the box. Everton seem well up for this now. Kivior just plays it back to David Raya. Play the pass. Just playing the pass so slow. Trossard is free in the middle. Jorginho goes wide to Saka. It's a good pass. I thought it was a bad pass. Turned out to be a good pass in the end. Saka 1-on-1. Poor cross. Ben White is on the wrong side of Ndiaye. No foul there, Ben. Ndiaye's gone down dramatically. Not sure what the ref has given here. That looked like a good free. That looked like a good tackle to me. It did look like a good tackle, but they're going to get the free kick for that. Half an hour left. Just one silly mistake letting Arsenal down, but we had the opportunities to score a second or to really put it on Jordan Pickford more than we did. We didn't really do it. The pass out to Martinelli was really poor. I think that was Kivior that time. I think that wasn't the best. He's played a couple of good passes today, but that one was bad. It's poor from Declan Rice. That is really poor. It's a heavy touch from Declan Rice, and then Dyche just nicks in. And now on comes Jurriën Timber. Is that going to be for Ben White? I think it is, yeah. 60 minutes of football for Benny Blanco. He's not been terrible. Again, just lacking a little bit of sharpness, you can see. But it's good to have him back. He just gives us, when we've got a fully fit defence and Ben White's back as well, it makes us quite tactically flexible for what we could do. On Tuesday, it doesn't really do a lot for us because he's going to have to play centre back. It's really all we've got. Timber absolutely hassling Ndiaye. Timber hassling Doucouré this time. Lewis Skelly, good feet. Lewis Skelly's still going. He's been pulled and dragged and fouled everywhere. He's still going. Lewis Skelly's still going. That's ref. What colour's that gonna be? That is insane. That foul. This great drip. Lewis Skelly's just taken it from his own box and run the whole Everton team. He's just absolutely blitzed everybody. And I'll tell you what, it's a gamble. For the manager can that can go one of two ways, because if that costs your team a goal, the manager's not going to be happy. Tarkovsky with another yellow card. He shouldn't even be playing. He should have got a red last week against Liverpool for the foul on Alexis McAllister. He shouldn't even be playing right now, but it's another yellow card from James Tarkovsky. And it's a big gamble from a player like Miles Lewis Skelly, because Arteta, if you know that he could have, Arteta could have been fuming if that ended up, being counter attacked and led to a goal. But he's just taken the ball and galloped through about 4 or 5 players. What a run! And once Lewis Skelly gets into his run, I tell you what, he's a very powerful runner. I already spoke about his athleticism and how difficult he is to stop physically. Obviously, he's playing against some men that are a lot bigger and more developed than him, so it's not always going to work. But sometimes when it works well like that, if we can equalise from here, you've got Rice and Saka standing over this. This is just outside the 18-yard box. What, 19 yards? 18, 19 yards. This is definitely shooting territory. Trossard is having a look at this. I haven't really seen any of these guys score for direct free kicks. I doubt it's Rice. Is it Saka or Trossard that's going to take this? It is Rice. It's a great strike as well. He goes for power. It's just batted away by Jordan Pickford, and Arsenal stay on the attack. Jorginho fucks it up, but he makes up for it as well. Jorginho, fair play. Rice just smashed that with pure frustration. Arsenal just looked frustrated, and I get they're right to be frustrated. They did it to themselves, though. They did do it to themselves. I think Lewis Skelly knows he's done it to himself. He's probably had a word from Arteta about this, if not once, then twice. Rice just absolutely smashes that free kick. Jordan Pickford had it covered, but he couldn't catch it or hold on to it. But you could see Lewis Skelly kind of felt the responsibility that he had to go and do something. Is that James Garner coming on? And Armando Broja coming on as well? Everton coming forwards again. I don't think that's ever a foul from Jurriën Timber on Ndiaye. I think it's a great tackle. I think it's a very good tackle. I don't think that's a foul at all. Cross comes in. It's well defended. Everton corner. There's a lot happening in the box as the corner comes in. I think the ref blew the whistle because of a foul. There is so much happening in that box. Trossard had his arms all the way around Armando Broja. We need to make sure that doesn't end up in a penalty again. Corner comes in. David Raya does well to gather. Great little touch. Great touch. I think Arsenal were complaining because the Everton players crowded around Raya and stopped him from. I think there's some blood coming from the head. Yeah, O'Brien's gone in front of Raya and stopped him from being able to take the kick. The ref just wasn't looking there. The ref starts looking the other way. Oh no, he is looking. The ref's looking right at it and decides not to blow for it. Interesting. Marina's having to get his head taped up while Arsenal play on. Jorginho's just buying fouls, and like that's a good skill to have, but he does it so often that it just almost becomes a bit of a liability, to be honest. He's coming off now anyway. Erdegaard's coming on. I wonder what that means in terms of who drops into that DM position. Does Marino drop into the DM? Rice in the 8? I'd rather Rice in the DM and Marino in the 8, to be honest with you. 20 minutes for Erdegaard, try and get us ticking. A lot of people really critical of him after Fulham. I thought he was okay. But as the captain and the kind of talisman player, he does need to do a little bit more to get this team playing. It's a good pass from Martinelli. It's a good pass from Martinelli. Good feat so far, but he does get stopped. Lewis Skelly again trying to gallop forwards. The cross is just not a good cross. It's really frustrating. We're working so hard to get the ball and then we're giving it away so cheaply. Good play out from Arsenal. I do think Kivior's been decent today. I don't want to jinx it and him go and do something silly, but I think he's been good today. Yeah, Rice is down in the 6, Marino in the 8. That looks much better for me. That setup makes much more sense. And Saka's down as well. The defender got cooked. The defender saying, "Oh, ref," but he was never getting there. We sell Ghana and buy Agate for a lot of money. Mad. Yeah, Agate, bro. You man buy players, yeah, based off like their FIFA ratings or something. I swear down, because every time I see a player on FIFA that looks good, you lot buy him, and the next year that player is shit, bruv. Like Anthony was rated like 82 on FIFA, and then you lot bought him, and then he was rated like 75 or something. Like it don't make no sense. Agate as well, like on FIFA a couple years ago, Agate looked like he could be a player. Then you man signed him, and now he looks dead, bruv. Like I don't know what it is, bro. You man are cursed. You man are cursed, bruv. I swear down. Declan Rice to the court with the cross. Back post. Not a very good cross, to be honest with you. Someone down injured? And Dyche's down injured. Well, he's down to some cramp anyway. Are you not rating Agate then, Amadiano? Is he not your cup of tea, as we say in England? And Dyche's going to go off. I did say Ndiaye was their danger man. To be fair, he scored a penalty, but he's good. Very, very good player, Ndiaye. I do rate him. And Ashley Young coming on to replace him. Ashley Young still, what is he, 37, 38 years old, still going in the Premier League. How old is Ashley Young? 39, bro. He's going to be 40 this year, bro. He turns 40 in July, and he's still playing in the Prem. Cristiano Ronaldo couldn't even do that, bro. Looks like Lewis Skelly is going to be subbed off as well, which I think makes sense. Kieran Tierney coming on. Skelly made a couple mistakes, and he didn't really look like he was playing his way back into it. He looked like it could have gone worse. And Kieran Tierney, again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Kieran Tierney may well have a part to play in the Real Madrid game. Same as Zinchenko, same as, I wouldn't say Jorginho. I really wouldn't have Jorginho playing against that Real Madrid team with the kind of young athleticism that they've got. But Zinchenko, maybe. Good long throw in, Pickford gathers. But yeah, Zinchenko, I could see being involved in some way. Tierney, I could see being involved in some way. So for me, yeah, Pickford's gone really long, and Arsenal just don't get the first contact on that. Although Erdegaard comes back to clean up. It's good feet from Marino, to be fair. Good feet from Marino. I didn't rate him even when he was at Paris. I don't know why we sold Fred, who was better than him. Fred better than Agate. Yeah. Oh, what a save that is! And that was a big save. The rest blown for a foul anyway, so it's going to be a free kick. But that's a good ball as well. Is that Kivior again? The ball's bouncing for Trossard. He just waits, smashes it on the volley. And to be fair, that is a very good save from Jordan Pickford. Obviously, Pickford didn't know it was going to be a foul. Yeah, is Fred better than Agate? I'm not. Hmm. They're very similar. Fred's had a little bit more technique to him. A little bit more technique. Jakub Kivior is a very good ball playing centre back. He can, when the ball's at his feet and he's got time and space, he can play passes. But the defensive side, oh, I nearly flipping dropped my laptop. The defensive side of the game, I don't know, man. I don't know. 77 minutes gone. There'll probably be a decent amount added on for the VAR check on the pen, the injuries. It feels open. It feels like still Arsenal dominating the ball, but still feels like it could go either way. Yeah, I said that's what I said. Fred's definitely more technical. Great ball through. Can we find a cross? Little bit too much pace on the ball. I think the flag has gone out. Yeah, it has. Timber just couldn't quite get there. The thing is with Agate, he's like he's a bit of a destroyer in terms of his play style, but he's not actually that physically strong, in my opinion. He's got that South American man will like, what do you mean Fred has better technique on the ball than Rice? I'm not kidding. What are you talking about? What's Declan Rice got to do with this conversation? I said, yeah, Fred. If I said, yeah, Fred's got better technique than Agate. I said, yeah. Well, I don't understand why you're upset today, bro. I said, yeah, innit? Like, what do you want me to say? I was just racking my brain because I haven't seen Fred play football for like 2 years. So I can't like I don't watch him play now. I'm just trying to remember how he actually played. Agate for me is like, yeah, South American, aggressive, will fly into challenges, but are you good? Like, are you a good football player? Not really, in my opinion. Like, last 10 minutes in this game, Erdegaard dropping deep, trying to do the quarterback job. Yeah, bro, that's all he did. Like these them South Americans, bro. Like you're hoping that when you get a South American player, man, just hope that they have a little bit of tech because obviously South Americans are known for being technical players, but he just didn't have it, bro. Well, he just ain't got it. Bro, you are, bro. You said Agate. You said Fred's more technical than Agate. I said I was thinking. All I said, yeah, yeah, I think so. And then you were like, yeah, of course he is. He's better than Rice. I said, bro, why are you talking about Rice? Like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah. Like, I didn't even disagree with you. I said, yeah. It's another foul, bro. We're just every tackle is a foul in this game, bro. What is going on? Every tackle is a foul. Arsenal lack players that can. Oh, it's a great touch from Martinelli. I actually think that touch might have been an accident. He did like the little flick that Fred did when he nutmegged that defender, but that looked like an accident. It looked like he was trying to back heel it. So then I'm going to show the replay. These pussies. It looked like he was trying to back heel it, and it kind of messed up the back heel. But what a touch from Raya! It's a lovely pass from Martinelli. Tierney finds Erdegaard, but Erdegaard just puts that ball wide. I can see that. We can see it. We can see what Arsenal are going to do. They're going to knock at the door. They're going to probe. That's a lovely, lovely pass. That Martinelli move right there. That's the one. That's the one. And Erdegaard just doesn't get a good connection on it at all. Not at all. Martinelli tries to play the ball into Trossard. Trossard surrounded by Everton players, and it just wasn't the right pass really. And then Trossard didn't didn't have the wherewithal to pop the ball back. It's Agate United's recreation of Eric Jemba. Bro, Jemba is better than Agate on a technical level. 100%. You see, like if you put them both on a pitch, yeah, empty pitch, and put like balloons in the four corners of the goal, I think Jemba pops all the balloons with footballs before Agate does. Kieran Tierney. Sometimes when I watch Kieran Tierney play, yeah, bro, I don't want him to leave, bro. Great cutting from Martinelli. It's a great strike as well. And I tell you what, it's a very, very good save from Jordan Pickford. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Pickford, I'm not gonna lie, but he's done really well this game. He's done well. It was quite central to be fair. It was hit with a lot of power and not really placed into the corner, but that's what we need. We're 6 minutes away. Everton would love to get a draw against Arsenal. Dwight McNeil's warming up as well. Arsenal got probably their best attacking players on the pitch. Everton still have one talisman to bring on. It's a corner comes in. Oh, it's a big challenge in the back of the head from Tim on Timber. Timber's convinced it's a corner kick. I'm kind of convinced it's a corner kick as well. But the ref's gone for a goal kick. Yeah, sometimes when I'm watching Kieran Tierney play ball, yeah, I'm like, bro, are we letting this guy go for real? Like, I know he's not the style that Arteta wants. I get it. He wants someone that can do the inverted thing or whatever. I get it, but you still got to have someone there that can do something differently. Like this is Arteta's arrogance and stubbornness, where he's got a vision in his head and he's determined to see that vision play out. Do you know what I mean? And not just bring someone on that can just do something a little bit different and kind of roll the dice. Like, for example, in the Champions League quarterfinal or Champions League semi-final, where the goal might come from someone that you're not expecting the goal to come from. That's great feat from Timber. And now on comes Dwight McNeil. Jack Harrison is actually shit as well. Like he's actually terrible, bro. Obviously, he's not shit, but he is. Obviously, he's not, but he is. Like, do you know what I'm saying? We are. I think we're going to be live from 8 o'clock. Live from 8 o'clock. We're going to be watching the boxing, watching the whole card. And what is probably, I predict, going to be the end of Joe Joyce's professional boxing career. That's what I predict. So, man's going to finish this game in a few minutes, go get some sun, go prepare dinner, and then get ready and go live in a couple hours. Trossard has got to release the ball. How's he not getting a yellow card? He's right. He's standing right in front of us, stopping us and taking. Thank you. Finally, a yellow card. I don't know how Everton have got through this half without getting more yellow cards. Kieran Tierney's going to look for a long throw into the box. It's a good play, to be fair, from Timber. Can we get a ball in the box? Let's put that ball in the box, maybe. Or cut it back to Tierney. Kieran Tierney's there. Yeah, KT puts that in the box, 100%. That is an awful header. Hrgovic is also a bum. Yeah, I mean, they're both coming towards the end of their careers. But I still think Hrgovic is going to win. I still think Filip Hrgovic is going to win tonight. Mikel Marino puts the header wide. We kind of played this game like we don't care about it. Like we're just thinking about Madrid. Like, which I don't think is good. Like we need to focus on winning these games. It's all football's about momentum. Like you need to make winning a habit. Like man can't draw with Everton and then go and beat Real Madrid. Trossard with another stupid foul. Everton are bums, bro. They're not even getting their like ball boys to pass us back the ball or nothing. Like these men are not serious. Into the 90th minute. How many minutes of added time is there? 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes to get another goal. I'll be honest, I don't feel optimistic. The game just feels flat, and Everton are just going to try to take all the time out of the clock that they can. Kivio's been good today. I will say that. That's been the worry, and that's still the worry in terms of Tuesday. Is him up against Real Madrid. But today he's not been terrible. AJ fight for Dubois out him from conversation with Joyce and Hrgovic. What do you mean? What do you mean? AJ is definitely a level above Joyce and Hrgovic, 100%. Neither Joyce nor Hrgovic have ever been a world champion. AJ's been unified world champion twice. So he's not in that category of boxer. He's definitely a level above them. Maybe 2 levels above them. Rice has been poor today, to be fair. I think Rice has been really poor. He's worked hard, but on a technical level, he's not been good. Catch up with you guys in the boxing stream. Love my bro. We'll see you then. We'll see you this evening. 8 o'clock, we're live. Saka cutting in, finding Rice. Rice looking for Saka again. Imagine the scenes if we can get a late winner here. Saka rolls his defender. We'll take that corner. Thank you very much. Ashley Young out for a corner. My guy, love, bro. If Dubois didn't win against AJ, I would put him in the same bracket with Joyce and Hrgovic. He was close to that bracket, but he's a lot younger. So obviously there's still room for him to develop. He's got more power. Like, he's a one punch knockout guy. Hergovic and Joyce are not one punch knockout kind of people. But yeah, he was in that conversation for a long time. Saka, poor corner. Really poor corner. Low, flat, doesn't beat the first man. It's his first one of the game, to be fair. 93 minutes in. Mikel Marino still got blood coming out of his head. I didn't even think Marino should be on the pitch, to be honest. Literally got blood streaming out of his head. And we want him to be up in the box, heading the ball, which is just outrageous. One more minute left. Like I said, Everton going to do everything they can to slow the game down, try not to engage. Saliba wins the header. Is Trossard about to get a foul? What's going on here? What is going on here? Because Trossard flicked his boot out, even though he didn't touch anyone, the ref stopped the game. What? And gave a free kick. What? Raya's going to try to go first time. I can't believe the ref just blew the whistle there. I can't believe it. There's twice. It's 1-1 anyway. It's full time. I can't believe what I've just seen. Can't believe that. Twice, the goalkeeper's taking a goal kick and their defenders are jumping in front of the goalkeeper to block him from taking the goal kick. It was Trossard's goal that made it 1. It was the penalty that made it 1-1. The players are fuming. Arteta's just shaking their hands and putting the players away. That was one of the worst refereeing displays I've ever seen. The ref had no control of the game for the whole game. I can't believe that. But to be fair, we just didn't do enough. Like I said, from about 60 minutes in, didn't I? I said, bro, once it went to 1-1, I don't see these men coming back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. We didn't really show much. And realistically, we're focused on Tuesday, and all eyes have to be on preparing for Tuesday. So, Everton is shit. They scumbag themselves a draw. Fair play to them. But listen, it is what it is. We're going to be back 8 o'clock. Do you know what I'm saying? So lock in. Anyone that you know that's into their boxing, send them the link to the stream. 8 o'clock, going to be back. Yeah, man. I'm out. Peace and love. I'll see you lot in a bit. Safe.